Disclaimer, this series revolves around criticising things, and the fact that I'm doing that doesn't necessarily mean I dislike the thing. Thank you. Click below to watch the original Sins video or to buy Frozen. So those of you who have been subscribed for a very long time will know that in my video on Kung Fu Panda, in the end segment, I asked for sin suggestions for this video. That was over a year ago, so yeah, oops. I've decided to intersperse some of the suggestions into the video proper, and then I'll look at some more in an end segment, and then I won't look at the rest because I got a lot. But anyway, let's get started. The top of the very, very necessary sin timer has been cropped off.
Cliche of opening narration replaced by its sinister cousin opening singing.
In the past is what I meant to say there. In the past when you've sinned, you know what, no fuck it, let's go with in the arse. In the arse when you've sinned opening singing, it's because it's been equivalent to narration. Essentially, someone would have taken a script that could just as easily have been for narration and sung it instead. You don't like it because it's expository, not because there's some inherent problem with singing. But unless there's something expository I missed in the phrase na 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 hey ya na, I don't think that's really an issue here. Unless you do have some kind of problem with singing as just like a concept, in which case I'm pretty sure this one is on you for choosing a musical. You know, I guess I could have just said, CinemaSins singing in a musical, because Jeremy, what the fuck did you expect to find here?
Also, the director said, I want you to have that baby reindeer eat a carrot so he'll look like even more of an asshole.
You seem to have both mispronounced and misspelt in the subtitles the phrase, even more adorable. And also directors are allowed to ask for changes that they think will enhance characterization or story because, you know, that's their job.
Movie rips off the all the answers are in some old mysterious book thing from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It really was Buffy that pioneered the idea of putting information in a book. It was such an innovative idea, and anyone else who ever does it is probably just ripping off Buffy. Also, the king wasn't looking for quote-unquote all the answers. He was looking for precisely one answer. The answer to the question, where are the trolls? An answer it would be perfectly reasonable for a book on geography or trolls to have.
We interrupt this animated princess movie to bring you Galaxy Quest.
This movie that... Hang on. Actually, I don't know what Galaxy Quest is. I've never even heard of it. What is it? A movie? A show? A game? Whatever. This movie, that something. Feel free to leave comments about how I definitely need to watch, play, or read Galaxy Quest.
Don't worry, I leave the fun.
You mean you have the power to remove fun, too?
He's referring to the memories of fun, since what he's doing right here is erasing memories. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that he definitely could remove the fun if he's able to remove memories like this. And if you actually watched this film while making that script, you would know that. This is the kind of sin where you just have to hope that the people watching aren't very familiar with the film or don't remember it so well, because if they are, they'll realise you're just full of satire. Full of satire. That's what satire is.
So does Anna really not see Elsa for years? The family never gets together and eats dinner or anything?
The movie is kind of ambiguous on that point, and that's completely okay, by the way. We know that Elsa shuts herself off and doesn't go out to play with Anna, but she could still eat dinner with the family sometimes. Her refusing to go out and play with Anna when they used to be really close would still be just as soul-crushing.
Also, why even bother erasing Anna's memory if Elsa's just going to stay behind a locked door the whole time?
She was struck in the head by an ice blast from Elsa. It was implied by the movie that erasing the memories of magic would help to heal whatever damage that did. Which I personally see as just a pretty convenient plot contrivance, which I'll add a missed sin for actually. But instead of sinning that, you just sort of showed that you didn't really understand what was going on or why.
Look, if she's freezing up the entire room, including the door she's leaning against, then her sister would definitely feel the cold and probably also be leaning against an ice block and not a door.
That door looks like it's made of wood, which means it would probably be quite difficult to turn it into an ice block unless you turned it into water first. Also, even if she is feeling the cold, what would you expect her to do other than to just sit there thinking, huh, this door is kind of cold?
I bet they're absolutely lovely. I bet they are beautiful.
If I were in a relationship with this cartoon, I'd probably still hit it if she let me.
Cool. Coolsies. Cool. Also, that probably has something to do with the fact that for some reason she seems to sleep with her makeup on.
Also, this whole kingdom went for over a decade without seeing the princesses after the king and queen died. They just took the word of some random castle butler that the princesses were alive and well and shit.
You say this, but you very clearly see later on that there are loads of servants in this castle. So, not just some random castle butler, loads of staff. Also, even if there was just like one dude who ever interacted with the princesses, what would you expect to happen? I mean, maybe if people started to think that something might be amiss, there'd be some kind of investigation. The investigation would find that actually everything is fine, the princesses are all right, they've just decided to isolate themselves, and then everything would go back to normal.
Who knew we owned 8,000 salad plates?
You could not possibly grow up in this f***ing behemoth castle without knowing you had 8,000 salad plates.
So, you live in a castle? Yeah, I do. It's pretty cool. So, how many salad plates you got? What? It's just, What? Did I say something wrong? No, it's not that. I just don't really know why you'd expect me to be able to answer that. But I thought you said you lived in a castle. In a castle? Yeah. So, you do know how many salad plates you have. Right, I think there's some link that you see here that, I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but I just think that the link you're seeing might not exist. What? How do you mean? Well, okay, right, let's put it this way. You live in a castle, right? In the Southern Isles, yeah. Yeah, the Southern Isles. That's not really a place name, that's just where it is and what it is, but okay. Wow, rude. You live in a castle. How many salad plates do you have? 5,372. Okay, was not expecting you to be able to answer that. Why do you know that? Because I live in a castle. No, that's okay, there's got to be more to it than that. Like, did someone tell you how many salad plates there were? Was someone like, welcome to the castle, here are the salad plates? There are 5,327 of them? 5,372. Not important. That is to me. Did you count them? Did you think that that's like an important part of living in a castle? Did you just like get in the castle and think, well, if I'm gonna live here, I better count the salad plates? Like, what? Why? Why do you know that? I live in a castle. Yes. Therefore I know the quantity of salad plates. I don't think we're getting anywhere with this. Aww. It's a shame. Maybe if you were less weird, I would have fallen in love with you really fast and then let you try to take over my kingdom before failing and being shipped back to your homeland to face punishment. Wow, that was really specific. But I guess now that'll never happen. Also, Jeremy uses the description of the castle being fucking behemoth as evidence to suggest that Anna should know how many salad plates there are. But if anything, surely that should have the opposite effect. If there's more space for plates to be and more plates in total, surely it's less reasonable to know how many plates there are, no?
What if I meet the one?
Neo is a Warner Brothers character, so I'm not sure how you think that would happen.
To avoid saying this movie, that movie again, fuck, I just did. I'm gonna take it to the suggestions for this one. Just cause you like references, Jeremy, doesn't make anything a sin!
Seems like these gloves do a good job keeping the ice from happening, so why did Elsa need to lock herself in a room for all these years?
Oh yeah, the gloves did a great job of stopping the ice from happening, especially in this scene, which you included in your video, where she's wearing gloves and there's definitely no ice anywhere to be seen.
This girl's motivation changed from hanging out with her sister to finding true love in the blink of an eye.
Because no one person could ever want both of those things at the same time. That's just too many things to want.
Since we find out Hans is a bad guy later, this little moment of him smiling like he's a good guy while no one is around is a bit of a cheat in the narrative.
Yeah, right. Since his motivations clash with the motivations of the protagonists, he's not allowed to be a normal person. He has to be perpetually angry and salty and evil all the time. He can never turn it off. He's an evil character, and that means he has to act the part. But if we show just normal people as being capable of acts of evil, then we might start to consider that maybe not everything is black and white. Maybe a once good person could turn bad. Maybe a once bad person could turn good. Could I turn bad? What if I'm already bad? What if what I'm doing is evil, but I think it's good? That's an incredibly existential question. I mean, there's probably someone out there who thinks that what you're doing is immoral. What if they're the one who's right? What if you're the bad guy in their story? I mean, they must believe they're right just as much as you believe that you're right, right? I mean, this is real life we live in. It's not some fantasy world where all of the villains look evil and dress the part, wearing all black and act evil all the time. Morality is a complex thing with countless complex schools of thought surrounding it. But I don't like that. It makes me think about things too much. So I'd just much prefer it if the evil characters acted evil all the time and were just straightforward evil characters, please.
It just can't.
Is there any reason you can't tell your sister about your powers now that you're both adults? When the trolls recommended you keep it from her, she was like 6.
It's a part of herself that she's been told to hide since she was a little girl. As we see from certain people's reaction to actually seeing her powers, there's clearly a stigma involved with having magical powers in this universe. And the combination of those factors is probably going to make Elsa feel like there's something wrong with her. Which, actually, yeah, she clearly does, or she wouldn't need to sing Let It Go. So I sincerely doubt she would be volunteering that information, even if it would be useful in the situation at hand.
Falling in love in one evening montage cliche.
The cliché-ness here is the point. Basically, one of the main things this movie is trying to do is provide a new take on this old cliché, and to do that it has to include the old cliché, unfortunately.
We are nearly 30 minutes into this 90-minute movie, and while the kingdom and princesses are pretty well established, there's no real sign of conflict.
You don't see any conflict? What about Elsa wanting to be isolated when Anna wants a closer relationship with her? Hey, it may not be life or death, but a lot of the best stories don't have life or death conflict in them. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them do, but they don't have to. This kind of human emotional conflict can be the grounds for a great story.
And I honestly can't tell who the main character is, Elsa or Anna.
Well, the movie does seem to be being told from Anna's perspective, but also there's no rule that says a movie can only have one main character.
I can't live like this anymore.
Damn it all, is this movie doing that whole simple misunderstanding that real people would never have because they ask questions and have normal human conversations about it thing? She would rather Encino Man her sister than just tell her the truth.
I already covered this like a couple of sins ago, so that again.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
So is she empowered now, or is she the villain now?
Children could answer that question for you, Jeremy.
This is like a family version of The Grey. Too bad Liam Neeson isn't here to threaten to beat someone to death over a f***ing billfold.
This movie, Hat movie. I accidentally typed hat instead of that in the script, and I'm leaving it in because I'm that desperate to find any way to vary this sin at all. Because, you know, you make me make it so much because so much of your content is just vaguely alluding to how two films are sort of similar but not really. Oh, just thought I'd update you on this. In the meantime, while I've been editing this video, I went to go and Google Galaxy Quest to see what it was, and it just looks like a shitty Star Trek ripoff, so I'm not going to bother with it, honestly. Just kidding. Seeing the pictures from it reminded me that I've actually seen stuff about it before, and it looks pretty cool. I might check it out at some point. But I just thought I'd thoroughly bamboozle all Galaxy Quest fans out there before I did that.
Well, shit. I can't be upset about a talking snowman even if I want to be. And after this movie started out with magical rock trolls, but I can always just award another sin here for the magical rock trolls because it's not like that's gotten any less stupid at this point.
Care to elaborate on why the rock trolls are stupid? No? Okay. Do you think they're stupid because they exist? I mean, this is a fictional kids movie based on a fairy tale. It's allowed to have magical creatures in it.
That's right. Olaf.
Come on. I mean, you definitely don't remember anything about Olaf because the magic troll's at the beginning.
Nope, she remembers Olaf because he's part of the fun, not part of the magic that got erased from her memory. She'll remember making a snowman with her sister and calling that snowman Olaf, she just won't remember that there was magic involved in it. This is made pretty obvious by the scene with the trolls editing her memories, because you can still see Olaf in the edited versions of her memories. It's just he's now outside in a place where you wouldn't need magic to get snow. Also, when it comes to people who've lost memories, being confronted with literally the exact thing that you've forgotten might have a tendency to jog your memory. I mean, she hadn't forgotten him in the first place, but I'm just pointing this out just so you know that even if she had, this would still be a dumb sin.
And surely if you remember Olaf, you'd remember your sister, the ice games you played, and getting knocked unconscious, and all of this could have been avoided in the first place.
I don't see how you think that her remembering those things would have led to this situation being avoided. Elsa would still be unwilling to talk about her powers. She'd probably still freak out at the party after her coronation. She'd still accidentally use her ice powers there, and people would still react badly to it, and she'd probably still run away. It's just Anna would be less surprised by the ice coming from her sister. Maybe some of the details would be different, but I'm pretty sure most of the main story beats would remain the same.
But I found a staircase that leads exactly where you wanted to go.
Gratus ex machina.
I couldn't figure out what gratis means, but unless it means this is not I'm pretty sure this is sinful. They're following Elsa. Elsa made the staircase to get there, so them finding the staircase isn't dumb luck or plot convenience or an ex machina. It actually makes more sense than them not finding the staircase.
Last time I introduced her to a guy, she froze everything.
Impeccable logic. I mean, those were way different circumstances. And what, is she going to extra freeze the already frozen country if she gets upset this time?
Is there any reason she couldn't do that? I mean, things can always be colder, right? Well, no, they can't. But, you know, since there are still people alive, I'm guessing it's a little warmer than absolute zero.
We totally lost Marshmallow back there.
Okay, so this isn't the abominable snowman? And you're just basically going to take the Ghostbusters villain name? Sure, they don't call him Marshmallow Man, but they might as well.
In this one, it seems like Jeremy loves this movie, that movieing so much that he's willing to admit that he's stretching it on this one. Like, sure, they don't call him Marshmallow Man, but they might as well. No, Jeremy, they might as well not. They've literally just said one word that was also said in another film. If that's your standard, I honestly don't know what to say to you.
Okay, so these trolls are love experts. When did saving people from icy blasts to the head enter the picture?
Because of course, a group of what looks like hundreds of individuals can't have more than one area of expertise between them. Also, the magic they know about is related to love, so they don't even have more than one area of expertise. You basically went, well, that's a problem with this movie. These trolls can't possibly have this thing, when they could have that thing and also they don't.
Use your ice powers to make a wall of ice and keep these guys from doing anything. Is that hard all of a sudden?
No, but what is hard is thinking on your feet when you're in mortal danger. I mean, hell, I panic when my wallet isn't in the first pocket I check.
Hans is suddenly evil because, well, we need another 15 minutes out of this script, and also we had two decent guys for her to fall in love with, and this way she doesn't have to make a choice.
Also, if Hans wasn't evil, she wouldn't be able to save Elsa, and she wouldn't be able to get an act of true love, and also would die. I mean, you could argue that if he wasn't evil, Anna would get her act of true love with him, but if he wasn't evil, he wouldn't have tried to get with Anna in the first place. He wouldn't have taken advantage of her inexperience. If you did put that love in one night montage in, and then the conclusion was just her going back to him to get a kiss from him, and that's it, this movie would be pretty cliche and nothing really notable. I mean, yeah, it would have been fun, and there were some cool moments along the way, but the fact that the ending is quite different from what you would have expected really ties this movie together, in my opinion.
Also, wouldn't it be logical for the ice-loving Kristoff to fall in love with the Ice Queen?
You like ice? Whoa, I like ice. Let's fuck. I know that, it's actually falling in love and not just fucking, but I thought saying fuck was funnier.
Two perfect guys, two perfect girls, and the sniveling Weaselton guy could have been the villain trying to overthrow Arendelle.
Yeah, what this movie really needs is to be more generic.
Also, maybe she should be dead by now. Elsa's ice tends to move quickly, and her heart's been frozen for days now.
No. Where did you get days from? It's been about 1 day. Also, Jeremy is apparently an authority on this type of fictional magic. You know, as opposed to all of that real-life magic. It should take Anna less than a few days to die from this infliction because, well, Elsa's physical ice, you know, when she makes physical ice, moves pretty fast. So, clearly that's how this works.
Also, Elsa masters her newfound love magic instantly. Shit, she still doesn't know how to use her ice powers properly without killing people.
Elsa has killed a grand total of 0 people through the course of this film.
Also, an island kingdom, a long unseen princess locked away, horse reindeer playfulness, wild scoundrel love interest. I swear to God, this movie Entangled started out as the same script.
And this movie, that movie, just to round things off. So, the sin total so far is 46 sins, but we've still got some more suggestions to look at. So, the requests have been fun, and I'm probably going to ask for requests for another movie at some point. Of the ones I included in the main section of the video, some helped me to spot something that I wouldn't have spotted otherwise. Some were things that I'd already thought about sinning and then decided not to sin, and then seeing it rephrased in the suggestion made me reconsider my decision to not sin it. And some of them were things I had noticed, had decided to include, but thought their phrasing was just better than mine. But most of the ones that I fully didn't notice, I've kept for the end segment so that I can be honest with you about what things I noticed and what I didn't. So let's get into that now.
Ice is stronger than 100 men, unless you have a pickaxe.
One line before the lyrics that was just shown, the men sing about ice having a magic that cannot be controlled. I'm pretty sure they were talking about the magic of the ice being stronger than a bunch of stuff, and not just the physicality.
This large triangle window is a you to sleep.
Actually, I don't think it would be that hard to sleep in a room as dark as this from where Elsa is. It doesn't really look like the light out of the window is incredibly, read more. Fuck.
Animation?
Animation. Get it?
You must learn to control it.
I know a guy who teaches a summer class if you want to enroll.
This seems to be a joke about the absurdity of the idea that you could just find someone to teach Elsa to control her magic, since, you know, obviously magic teachers don't exist, but you forget that this is a fictional world where magic is very, very real. There could be magic tutors on every street corner. I mean, there probably aren't because this universe seems to have a magic-related stigma, but it's not ridiculous to think that maybe the king and queen might be able to find one.
Wait, I know this room is huge, but they still had to share a bedroom in this huge castle?
There are a couple of suggestions for this one, and basically it boils down to there are other reasons that kids might share a room than lack of space. Salad plates! Salad plates! Salad plates! Salad plates! Salad plates! Yeah, if you say something obviously dumb enough for this many people to pick up on it and point it out, I think that's worth a bonus sin.
I wanna stuff some chocolate in my face.
Haha, you women and your chocolate.
That's sexist.
Find true love.
This girl's motivation changed from hanging out with her sister to finding true love in the blink of an eye.
She craves companionship. Whether she gets it from her sister or from her true love is irrelevant. Or alternatively, this is arguably the point of the movie. She learns that both of those things are in fact one and the same. I know I already said that in the main section of the video, but I thought both of those comments were interesting, different takes on the same sin, so I decided to include them.
I leave Prince Hans in charge.
With a kingdom that plays things this loosey-goosey, you'd think some other kingdom would have long ago taken over this place. It's not like anyone's actually in charge of anything here.
Well, Hans clearly is in charge of things here. He was literally just put in charge of things here. Before that it was Anna, and before that it was Elsa. Before that it was probably someone else as well. Possibly some kind of steward, council, or prime minister. Just because a previous ruler doesn't appear on screen doesn't mean they didn't exist. Plus, choosing someone to rule in the absence of an available monarch seems like a much better alternative than putting what would then have been a 6 or 7-year-old Elsa on the throne.
So is she empowered now, or is she the villain now?
It's ambiguous. It's obvious. It's ambiguous. So people do seem to be in disagreement as to what the actual problem is here, but a lot of people seem to think there's a problem, so here's a bonus sin. What? Why don't you want an aeroplane in your anus? Oh, I don't know how that comment got in.
Wait, if the whole land is covered in icy cold winter that can't go away because, it's so cold that the sun can't melt the ice, then how is there a running stream for Anna to fall into?
The same reason there are running streams in cold places in real life. The freezing point of running water is significantly lower than the freezing point of standing water, so it could easily be cold enough for most of the water to freeze but for streams to stay fluid. When is the Sins video for Frozen coming out? Eventually, probably April or May. Oof.
Act of true love magic takes a long-ass time to start working after the actual act of true love.
Have you ever used love to unfreeze and subsequently resurrect your sister, Jeremy? So, the final sin total is 56, and the punishment will be, well, obviously it has to be being frozen, right? Anyway, it's time for a teaser. See if you can figure out what movie I'll be sending the Sins video of this Friday based on these clues. And also, don't go and look on my Twitter where it very clearly says, because I asked people what they wanted me to send on a poll, and that's what I'll be doing. And by going to my Twitter and looking at the results of that poll, you could very easily tell what I'm going to be doing this Friday, but don't do that. That would take away from the fun. Here's a partially blurred and partially blacked out version of the thumbnail from the CinemaSins video I'll be sinning. And here's an anagram of the movie title. I made this teaser quite a while ago. I made them in bulk when I first came up with the idea of doing teasers, and I kind of feel like this one's a bit easy, but oh well. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, there are links on screen now to some more of my content. I'll see you on Friday for the video that the teaser was about. A goodbye.
Whoa.